Hello, hello everybody. I hope everybody is doing great, right? कैसे हैं आप सब? I hope everybody is doing fine. आपकी सबकी health अच्छी है, right? Right. And these difficult times, it's very important that you keep your health proper. So boost your immunity, keep it proper, exercise for a little bit, eat healthy food, eat well, right? Chalo. So what did we do in our last class? In our class number 22. In our class number 22, we started off with enterprise problems first, right? We took the example of Sahil, और फिर देखा हमने that Sahil has tried to open up a factory which will produce what? Which will produce branded shirts, correct? So this factory of Sahil, when he's starting to open it, this enterprise might have certain problems to it, and we saw as to how can he solve it. What were these problems? The first problem was problems relating to objectives, right? Like we studied objectives, profit objective, economic objectives, organic objectives, marketing objectives. So these objectives can sometimes conflict, right? And then what is the next problem? The next problem is relating to location and size of plant. As to where should I locate my factory? मैं कहाँ सेटअप करना चाहिए फैक्ट्री? Should it be near to the source of raw material or should be near to the market where I want to actually sell it, right? So this will depend on what? This will depend on the cost of transportation. It will depend on the cost of labor and availability of labor in that area, correct? Availability of facilities, कौन से एरिया में मेरे को proper facilities मिल रहे हैं? Water facilities, electricity facilities, road facilities, transportation facilities, correct? Then the next problem was problem relating to procurement of physical facilities, right? What are physical facilities? For example, machinery. Now, for machinery, how would you decide as to what number should I bring in? What now, what should be the number of machineries that I should bring in? It will depend on your production process and also on the number of products that you want to produce, correct? How will you decide this? You as to which machinery should you buy? Now you know the number, ठीक है, मेरे को 5 machineries खरीदना है, but how would you decide which machinery would you buy, which brand would you buy, what type of machinery would you buy? That will depend on the cost and efficiency of that machinery. Firstly, what is the cost? Second is what is the efficiency, right? What are the number of products that it is giving per unit of time? एक घंटे में ये मशीनरी A कितने products दे रही है, एक घंटे में मशीनरी B कितने products दे रही है. You will start comparing like this and you will test their efficiencies, correct? Then problems relating to finance. What is this? Relating to funds, as to where should I get my funds from, what should be the amount of funds. आगे जाकर how will I manage my funds, what will be my profits, what will be the demand and everything, correct? Then problems relating to organizational structure. What was this? This was the hierarchy. This was relating to the hierarchy that you maintain, as to what should be the different departments, what should be your specialized different functions, right? Marketing function, taxation function, accounting function, procurement, transportation, production, right? You divide all your work into these different functions, and also you assign managers to them, right? You assign managers, you assign positions, and then you define them their functions. What is the function of a manager, what is the function of an employee in marketing department, correct? So this is problem relating to organizational structure. Then problems relating to marketing. What is this? This is identifying your target market first, and then deciding your 4Ps: product, price, place and promotion. So there'll be things relating to product, relating to price, relating to place, relating to promotion. These are nothing but problems relating to marketing. Then next is what? Problems relating to legal formalities, in which a CA would help the enterprise. What are these? These are your legal formalities, like your rules and regulations that you have to follow, the taxes that you have to pay, the accounts and records that you have to maintain, the returns that you have to file with the departments, correct? The information that you file with the departments and everything. Next is problems relating to industrial relations. What is this? This is the relations of the enterprise, the relations that the enterprise has with what? With your laborers, with your workers, with your labor unions. You should have a cordial relationship with them, because if they are not there, if they are going on strike, if they are not happy, then your production will not happen. Correct? Your production will be stopped. So these are the 8 enterprise problems that we saw yesterday. Correct? Then we moved on to production function. What's a production function? It's nothing but the relationship between input and outputs, correct? Output, which is a dependent variable, is being shown by Q. inputs which are independent variables are being shown by A, B, C, D, and so on, right? So Q is function of the A, B, C, D, that is output is the function of inputs, correct? And then what did we see? We defined it by saying it is a functional and technological relationship between inputs and outputs, right? There were certain assumptions that we made for this production function. What are those? One is that the relationship between input and output is for a specific period of time, correct? It cannot be said without mentioning time. You cannot say, okay, I'm getting 50 units of output with 10 units of raw material. Where is time? In what time period are you getting these 50 units of output? Is it in 1 week? Is it in 1 month? Is it in 3 months? What is the time period, correct? So you need to define that. And then second assumption is technology will remain constant, correct? Your technology won't change. Technology will remain constant. Without technology keeping constant, you cannot get the output with the input, right? If you don't keep the technology constant, then the output resulting from production is the maximum possible, राइट वॉट एवर इनपुट्स यू आर यूजिंग वो इनपुट से जो मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल आउटपुट निकल सकता है दैट इज व्हाट प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन इज एमिंग एट सो व्हेन यू आर ब्रिंगिंग योर इनपुट्स यार ए बी सी डी ये ए बी सी डी इनपुट से जो मैक्सिमम आउटपुट निकल सकता है दैट विल बी क्यू राइट सो मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल आउटपुट विल बी taken into consideration. Then we define it in more proper manner where we said it is the relationship between maximum amount of output that can be obtained with the input which is required, correct? Then we saw that all the inputs can be actually summed up into two factors of production, which is labor and capital. So we define it as Q is equals to what? Factor of L and K, where L is labor and K is capital. Then Cobb and Douglas production function. What was this? These are two people who actually studied American industries and they saw as to what happens with production function in American industries. What did they observe? They observed that 3/4 of the increase in production which is happening, 3/4 of that was contributed by labor and 1/4 of that was contributed by capital. Again, these guys are also summing up all the factors of production into capital and labor. Right, everything which is relating to human will be labor, which is not related to human will be capital. So capital is contributing 1/4 of the increase, labor is contributing 3/4 of the increase in production, correct? We saw the formula also. Q is equals to K into L to the power A, C to the power 1 minus A. K and A are constants, L and C are what? Labor and capital. Then we moved on to types of production function. Now this is important to understand that what is short run production function and what is long run production function. So to tell you again, what is short run production function? Short run is a time period in which at least one of the factors is fixed. That means I cannot change all the factors. All the factors are not variable. At least one of the factors out of the all is fixed. That means मैं कोई एक factor change नहीं कर पा रहा. Either it can be one, it can be two factors which cannot be changed, or it can be three factors which cannot be changed, right? So if at least one, अगर मैं एक भी इतने सारे factors में से एक भी अगर मैं change नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, if one of them is also fixed, then it will be short run production function. When will it be long run? Long run period is the period in which all the factors are variable. That means I can change all the factors. I can increase land if I want to. I can increase buildings numbers. I can increase machinery numbers. I can do everything. Every factor is variable. That is a long run period. So if you're studying production function in short run, where at least one of the factors is fixed, that is what? That is law of variable proportion. Correct? And if you're studying factor of production in long run, where all the factors are variable, that is what? That is law of returns to scale, correct? Now let's come to law of variable proportion. Before going into law of variable proportion, so we studied three concepts: total product, marginal product, and average product, which are very similar to your utility concepts, correct? Total utility, marginal utility. What is total product? Total product is nothing but the total output which is being produced by all the factors of production put together, right? Whatever is the total production which is being produced by all the factors put together, that will be total product. What is marginal product then? Marginal product is the addition which is made to total product by an additional unit of input. All right, so the additional output increase because of what? Because of an additional input. One unit increase in input is producing something. That extra production, that additional production which is happening because of this one extra unit is called marginal product. Correct? Marginal product का formula क्या रहेगा then? Total product of n minus total product of n minus 1. Right? We saw the example where, let's say, 5 machineries are producing 500 output. If you're employing sixth machinery, if you're employing one more machinery, that is 6 machineries, is producing 550 output. That means how much did the sixth machinery contribute? 50 units of output. That is nothing but the marginal product of sixth machinery. Understood marginal product concept? All right. Then average product. What is average? This is simple. Total product divided by the number of units of variable factor. So अपने केस में ऊपर एग्जांपल में 550 output, 550 units of output के लिए how many machineries did we use? We used 6 machineries. So 550 divided by 6 is nothing but the average product of 6 machineries, right? If I want average products of 5 machineries, what will I do? I'll do 500 divided by 5, right? So this is average product of 6 machineries. All right. So what is this law about? Law of variable proportion, as we saw upper also. What is it? It is studying the relationship between input and output in short run, where only one factor is kept variable and all the others are kept fixed. Okay? All the other factors are kept fixed. Only one factor is kept variable, and then you study the effect of that particular variable input on the output. Okay? Now, in our example, in the table that we saw, what is happening? I have taken labor as that variable input. I'm taking one input as variable and keeping all other fixed, correct? What did I take variable as? In my example, I took labor as my variable factor. That means I've kept machinery constant, machinery factor as fixed. I cannot change machinery. I've kept land factor as fixed. I cannot change land. I've kept building as a factor as fixed. I cannot change buildings, right? Everything else is fixed. Only labor is what I've taken as, variable. So now I will analyze as to when I increase my labor, when I increase my units of labor, what will be the effect on production? Okay? Now let's see what will be the effect of production. If I'm increasing the labor, the first unit of labor, the first labor that I employed, how much did he give me as total product? He gave me 100 as total product. Okay? Marginal product क्या रहेगा? 100 ही रहेगा. Average product क्या रहेगा? Total product divided by number of units of labor, that will also be 100. This second unit of labor, what is the total product when the second unit of labor is also employed? The total product is the work done by both of them put together. Correct? First labor and second labor, दोनों ने मिलकर जो काम किया है, that is nothing but total product of two laborers. So total product of two laborers कितना आ गया? That we came across as 210. ठीक है? So how much is the marginal product of second laborer? It is 110. Correct? What is that? That is 210 minus 100, which is 110. Right? This is marginal product. An additional unit of input. Because of that additional unit of input that you have employed, how much did your total product increase? How much did it increase? It increased by 110. Correct? All right. What will be average? Average is nothing but total product by number of units of laborers. So 210 divided by 2, which is 105. ठीक है, average product I'm not going into detail, but we'll see AP and TP first and then we'll move on to AP. ठीक है, तो TP और MP को देखो अब. Third laborer में क्या हुआ? Third laborer when I'm employed, at that time the total production was 330 and MP increased also to 120. So MP of first laborer was 100, second laborer was 110, third laborer is 120. It is increasing. ठीक है, now let's see fourth laborer. When I'm employing fourth laborer, what is the MP? MP has fallen down to 110. It was increasing earlier. It increased from 100 to 110 to 120. But when I'm employing fourth laborer, it has fallen to 110. Correct? So this is the point where it is falling, and also AP is equal to MP. Correct? Either AP is also equal to MP. Alright. Now let's move forward. When fifth laborer is employed, what is happening? Marginal product from that fifth laborer, that additional production which is happening because you employed fifth labor, is how much? That additional output is only 80. So it reduced from 180 to 80. Then it is again reducing from 80 to 70 to 50 to 30. It keeps on reducing till you reach what? Till you reach 0. After 0, it keeps on reducing more, and it's also going negative. What? MP. So marginal product, how is it moving? It's first increasing, but then after a point it starts to decrease. The additional output that a person is giving, the additional output that an additional unit of labor is giving, that started to decrease, and then it's decreasing, it's reaching 0 also, and after 0 also it's continuing to decrease and going to negative. Okay? So this is also an important phase, that 0 touch ho gaya hai marginal product, and after 0 also it is continuing to decrease. Okay? This is about marginal product, right? What is happening to marginal product? Again, just get it very clear in your heads that it increased first, then it started to decrease, then it reached 0, and it also turned negative. All right. Because of this, what will happen to total product? Total product is dependent on marginal product, correct? Total product is dependent on marginal product. Total product कैसे change हो रहा है? It is changing only by marginal product. First thing was 100. What is next thing? Next thing, you've come to 210 by adding marginal product to it, right? So total product will also be in the same trend as marginal product. What is happening with total product? You're adding marginal product to it. So if you're adding marginal product, when marginal product is increasing, total product will also increase at an increasing rate. Correct? It will increase at an increasing rate. What is this rate? This rate is nothing but marginal product. But when marginal product started to decrease, what will happen to total product? Total product will still increase, but at a decreasing rate. Correct? Total product will still increase. It is increasing from 520 to 600, from 600 to 670, but it is increasing at a decreasing rate. Correct? पहले increase कितना हुआ? 80 हुआ, then increase कितना हुआ? 70 हुआ, फिर कितना increase हुआ? 50 हुआ. It is increasing but at a decreasing rate. ऊपर देखो, it increased with how much? 110. Then it increased with how much? 120. So it increased with an increasing rate first, right? When the MP was also increasing, it increased with an increasing rate. But then see, after the fourth unit, it's still increasing, but at a decreasing rate. 80 increase हुआ, फिर 70 increase हुआ, फिर 50 increase हुआ, right? So it is increasing but at a decreasing rate. The rate of increase is keep on decreasing. Correct? फिर कितना हुआ? 30 हुआ. फिर क्या हुआ? After the marginal product has become 0, total product started decreasing, right? This is minus 10. The total product started decreasing. So what happened to total product finally? Total product increased at an increasing rate at first when MP was increasing. Then what happened? Total product still increased at a decreasing rate when MP was decreasing. Then total product started decreasing when MP turned negative. Okay? This is total product. Now let's see average product. What is happening with that? If you see average product, it's increasing at first, right? 100 to 105 to 110, and then it started decreasing. So average product increased and then it started to decrease, and it keeps on decreasing. But will it go negative? Will average product ever go negative? Analyze, think. Average product कभी negative जाएगा क्या? Average product will never go negative. Average product will never go negative. Why? For average product to be negative, either total quantity or quantity of labor should be negative, right? Total quantity divided by quantity. But can quantity of labor be negative? Obviously no. Quantity of labor negative में जा सकता है क्या? नहीं. Can total product be negative? Obviously no. Total product is the products that you're producing. Can products which you're producing be in negative number? No. So total product can never be negative. Average product can also be never be negative. Only marginal product can be negative. Okay? So these are about TP, AP and MP. We'll write about them. We'll write in detail about them. But first, let's see as to how is their graph. Okay? So let's plot this into a graph and see as to how is the TP curve going, how is AP curve going, how is MP curve going. All right. Okay. We also wrote the definition, proper definition of law of variable proportion. Let's read that definition in order to understand that definition more now, because I've given you the entire gist about TP, AP and MP. So now you will understand it better. The definition is from the point of view of MP and TP. Okay. So let's see. In a fixed state of technology, this is an assumption that technology remains constant. Production function का ही assumption है that technology will remain constant. So in a fixed state of technology, an increase in some inputs, other inputs being fixed. So there are some variable factors and there are some fixed factors also. And what are you doing? You are just increasing the variable factor, whereas the fixed factors you're not changing, correct? So some factors are fixed. If all the factors are changing, will it be law of variable proportion? No, it will be law of returns to scale, which we'll do afterwards. Okay. So an increase in some inputs will cause what? Will cause output to rise. And with your output, you can write what? This is nothing but total product. Total product. Then see, but after a point, the extra output resulting from the same amount of extra input. What do you mean by extra output? Marginal product. Right? Extra output matlab marginal product. So write down extra output को underline करके marginal product MP resulting from the same amount of extra input will diminish. Right? MP started decreasing after a point. This is called law of variable proportion or law of diminishing returns. There's one more name, or law of returns to factors. Not returns to scale, returns to factors. Alright, तो ये भी लिख दो वहां पे. This is called law of variable proportion or law of diminishing returns or law of returns to factors. Alright, now let's draw this into a graph. Let me take a fresh page. Okay, so this was your table, correct? Now this table is actually giving you a graph like this. You don't have to draw this graph on scale. Like you don't have to draw this graph to scale. What do I mean by to scale? To scale मतलब अपन पहले कैसे prepare कर रहे थे graphs? Every time when we prepared graphs for demand supply also, what did we do? We took 10, 20, 30 ऐसे to scale prepare किए थे ना, 10, 20, 30 ऐसे we plotted points on the x-axis and y-axis. We took numbers on x-axis and y-axis and then we tried drawing the graph. But when you do this particular table when you try to draw this particular table to scale, it will give you a similar graph only, but it's not needed because it will get too complicated. So let's see this graph and let's try to understand as to what is it trying to say. So if you see the graph, what is happening? We took amount of variable factor on x-axis, that means amount of labor on x-axis, and we took on y-axis output. Okay? We took amount of variable factor on x-axis and we took output on y-axis. Okay? Now what did we do? We kept on increasing the variable factor. And what happened to total product? Total product, what did we see in table? Recall, it started to increase, right? It increased. I'll do that also again here. It started to increase at an increasing rate first, right? So this is 110, this is 120. So it started to increase at an increasing rate. But then what happened? Then it started to decrease after a certain point, right? this is 80, this is 80 again, this is 70, this is 50, this is just 30. So it is increasing but at a decreasing rate. All right. So how should be my what should be my total product? How should be my total product curve? It should first increase at an increasing rate, then also increase at a decreasing rate. That means पहले steep जाना चाहिए, फिर ज़्यादा steep नहीं, फिर थोड़ा ऐसे curve जाना चाहिए. All right. When it's going steeply, that means it is increasing at an increasing rate. So it should first go very steeply, but then reduce that steep and come to a normal curve and then again increase, but after certain point of time it should also decrease. It's going from 750 to 740, it's also decreasing. So let's see the curve. What is happening? That same thing is happening. It's increasing first at an increasing rate till f, right? But after f, what is happening? After f, it is increasing but at a decreasing rate. Okay, and then it is still increasing at a decreasing rate, but after h it started to decrease, right? So also we saw that when does it start to decrease? When does TP start to decrease? When MP is 0. When MP touches 0, that is when total product starts to decrease. When MP is 0, total product will be at maximum. ये यूटिलिटी में भी देखे थे that when marginal utility is 0, total utility of yours will be at maximum. That is the point of satisfaction, that is your point of equilibrium. When marginal utility is 0, total utility was maximum. Similarly here also, when marginal product is 0, total product is at its maximum. In the graph also, if you see, when MP curved x-axis, that means MP curve is at 0. When it touches x-axis, MP curve will be at 0. That is your nothing but total product being at maximum. Okay? Okay. So in let's to not to cause much confusion here, we'll also try drawing this graph again. So draw your y-axis and x-axis. As usual, I'm very bad at drawings. All right, but this helps. These automatic lines helps. ठीक है. So x-axis पे what are you taking? You're taking amount of. Let's increase x-axis a little bit. बहुत छोटा हो गया. X-axis पे you're taking amount of variable factors. Correct? Amount of variable factor. And what are you taking at y-axis? You're taking output at y-axis. What is happening to total product? Total product, all right, before going into total product, if I draw MP and AP first, it will be much easier for me to draw TP. If I draw marginal product and average product curves first, it will be easier for me to draw TP. I'll show you why. So let's see marginal product first. What was happening to marginal product? Marginal product is increasing first, right? It is increasing first, but then it started to decrease and then it touched 0. It turned negative also. So what happened to marginal product? Increased, then reached a maximum point, started to decrease, touched 0, turned negative also. So draw that. So it increased, then it started to decrease and it touched x-axis also. Correct? This is your marginal product. Correct? इसको थोड़ा और पॉइंटी बना सकते हैं. ठीक है? Now let's see average product. What is happening with average product? Average product is increasing, right? And when it is increasing, is it greater than MP or less than MP? When average product is increasing at first, is it greater than MP or less than MP? It is less than MP. AP is less than MP when it is increasing. But when it started to decrease, what happened? See, when it started to decrease, it is greater than MP, right? So if I want to just show you here in these first three, when 1, 2, 3 units of labor were there, marginal product was greater, correct? Afterwards, when AP started to decrease in this stage, what is happening? Average product is greater, right? ठीक है, चलो, so let's draw this graph. At first, what is happening? MP is greater. That means MP will be above AP. So MP is greater and AP is smaller. But then there'll be a point after which it starts to decrease. It will start to decrease immediately. Right. So this is AP. Okay? So what happened to AP? It was increasing. When it was increasing, it is less than MP. You see in the graph, when it was increasing, when AP was increasing, it is less than AP. Less than MP. But when AP started to decrease, AP became greater than MP. Correct? AP was greater than MP. That we showed in the table also and in the graph also. Now come to TP. TP में क्या होगा? TP में what is happening? When this is at maximum, when MP is at maximum, till this point it will increase at an increasing rate. After that it will increase, but it will increase at a decreasing rate. Till what point? It will increase till MP is 0. Correct? So you can draw these dots and you can get a point here where this is the maximum point of TP, right? Let's label this as H and this is F. Okay? What are these H and F? F is the corresponding point on TP where MP is maximum. MP increase हो रहा था, then it started decreasing. MP increase होके maximum जब पहुंचा, corresponding to that point, there will be a point on total product F. Similarly, MP 0 touch किया था. MP is touching the x-axis. Wherever MP is touching x-axis, total product will be at its maximum. After that, it will start to decrease. Correct? So draw. Okay, join these two dots and then decrease. Correct? This is total product. Alright? So what happened? Total products started to increase. This is increase. Then it again increased after F also. But after H, it started to decrease. So ये H है और ये F. H का क्या है? H के brackets में लिख दो when MP is 0. When MP is 0. After H, TP started to decrease. F का क्या है? Brackets में when MP is maximum. When MP is maximum. Alright. This point F is called point of inflection. Point F is called point of inflection. When MP is maximum, the corresponding point on TP is point of inflection. Okay? This is origin. I'll also define origin this time. Okay? So, TP curve में क्या हो रहा है finally? From origin to F, it is increasing at an increasing rate. From F to H, it is increasing at a decreasing rate. Why? Because see, MP को क्या हो रहा है F और H के बीच में? MP is decreasing. If MP is decreasing, TP will increase at an decreasing rate. Correct? Table में भी वही देखा था, graph से भी वही देख रहा है. That when MP is increasing, that is from 0 to point F, MP is increasing. Till this point, what is happening? Till this point, TP is increasing at an increasing rate. ठीक है? Why? Because MP is increasing. Then MP started to decrease after F. If MP is decreasing, TP will increase at a decreasing rate. क्यों? क्योंकि MP is decreasing. Right? After that, what will happen? After that, when MP touches 0 and it turns negative, when it touches 0, TP will be at maximum. When it turns negative, it will start decrease. whenever MP is negative, obviously total product will start to decrease. ठीक है? And AP का क्या हो रहा है? AP, it's starting to increase, but when it is increasing, it is less than MP. It is less than MP. After which, when it starts to decrease, what is happening? It is greater than MP. Alright? So write down. First, we'll clear this point between MP and AP. So write down relationship between AP and MP. Relationship between AP, average product, and marginal product. क्या हो रहा है इसमें? जो टेबल में देखे थे, जो ग्राफ में देखे थे, whatever we saw on the table and graph, we are noting these points down. So note down. When AP rises, क्या हो रहा है? When AP is rising, what is happening to MP? Then MP also rises, but MP is greater than AP. Correct? MP is greater than AP. This is your first relationship. You can write 1. Second one, when AP is maximum, when AP is at its maximum, MP is equal to AP. MP is equal to AP. You see in the table also, when AP is maximum, that is at 110, MP is equal to AP. MP and AP both are getting equal when average product is at its maximum. MP is equal to AP in brackets. That is MP curve cuts AP curve. MP curve cuts AP curve at AP's maximum. At AP's maximum. Correct? Come to the third relationship. Third relationship is when AP falls. When AP is reducing, what is happening? When AP falls, MP also is falling. MP also is falling, but AP is greater than MP. But AP is greater than MP. AP is greater than MP. So this is the relationship that you have between your marginal product and your average product in short run. Okay? So remember these 3 points. These 3 points are coming out of your table and graph only. It's nothing different. But you remember these 3 points, especially the point when AP is maximum, that is when MP is equal to AP. That is, what does that mean? That means MP curve is touching AP curve at AP's maximum, right? Okay? Now write down. Now this graph that you have, this can be divided into 3 stages. This can be divided into 3 stages. So if I remove this and if I join this. Okay, these are the 3 stages, where this is stage 1, this is stage 2, and this is stage 3. Alright, stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. These are the 3 stages of law of variable proportion. Now what is happening in these stages and why did we divide them in 3 stages? Let's see that. Let's see stage 1 first. So write down your side heading stage 1. So in the above graph also, which I've taken directly from your textbook, you can see this graph in your textbook also. In this also, they have divided into 3 stages, stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. If you observe, where is stage 1 ending? When AP is equal to MP, right? AP or MP जब equal रहते, AP and MP when they are touching each other, that is when stage 1 is ending. When it's stage 2 ending, stage 2 is ending when MP is equal to 0, right? When marginal product is touching the x-axis, that is when stage 2 is ending. So stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. Let's come to stage 1 first. So write down side heading stage 1. Stage 1. What is this stage called? This is called stage of increasing returns. Stage of increasing returns. Now, why is this called stage of increasing returns? Because what is happening in this stage? Come to stage 1. What is happening in this stage? In this stage, TP is rising at an increasing rate first and then at a decreasing rate. MP is rising. AP is also rising. Yes, MP has started to decrease, but it was rising for most of the stage. So what is happening? Your total product is increasing, right? Also, your average product is increasing. So that is why called stage of increasing returns. So write what is happening in this stage. TP increases at increasing rate, right? What is happening to TP? It is increasing at an increasing rate up to what? Up to the point of inflection. Up to the point of inflection. What was the point of inflection that we defined? F. That is point F. Point F. Why? What is the reason? Because MP is increasing. Because MP is increasing. You can underline increasing rate. Correct? Next point. After the point of inflection, comma, TP increases at diminishing rate. TP is increasing still, right? But it is increasing at a diminishing rate. TP increases at a diminishing rate because MP has started to decrease. Because MP has started to decrease. Correct? TP is what? TP is nothing but additions of MP. If MP is being added, or if MP is being added to TP, then the rate of change in TP is nothing but MP, right? So MP decrease हो रहा है, तो obviously TP will increase but at a diminishing rate, right? ठीक है, done. Next point. What is the point of inflection? Just define that. Point of inflection is the corresponding point on TP, is the corresponding point on TP when MP is maximum. When MP is maximum, that is your point of inflection. Correct? What is happening to MP? Write about MP. MP rises and is maximum at point of inflection. MP rises and is maximum at point of inflection. Full stop. After that MP starts to decrease After that, MP starts to decrease. But did it go negative? No, but is positive. But is still positive. Correct? It did not go negative. It has started to decrease, but it is still positive. All right. Right about AP. What is happening to AP in stage 1? See, in stage 1 क्या हो रहा है AP को? AP will be rising. Correct? AP is rising. Stage 1 end ही तब होता है when AP is starting to decline. So AP is rising all the time. AP is rising. Alright, so stage 1 we have defined what is happening in stage of increasing returns. Stage 1 which is stage of increasing returns. Now write down when does this stage end actually? When does it end? When is stage 1 ending? Stage 1 as I told you is ending when AP and MP are meeting. And when does AP and MP meet? When AP is at its maximum. Correct? When AP is at maximum, that is the point when AP and MP are meeting. So stage 1 ends where AP curve reaches its highest point, or when MP is equal to AP, or when MP is equal to AP. Right? So throughout stage 1, MP was greater than AP. Throughout stage 1, what was greater? MP was greater. Total product is always greater. Total product तो MP और AP से obviously greater ही रहेगा. Total product can never be less than MP or AP. But MP and AP, sometimes MP is greater, sometimes AP is greater. In stage 1, MP is greater than AP. You can see from the graph also. Okay. Now come to the explanation or reasons. What is the reasons behind these increasing returns? So write down next side heading, explanation or reasons for increasing returns. Bracket stage 1. So what is the reason behind it? Why is it increasing? Let's see that. Okay. Let's see what is the reason. So normally what happens is your other factors are being fixed. Your machinery, your land, all other factors you've kept fixed. What are you changing? You're only changing your labor. Correct? You're only changing your labor. So what happens when you're keeping your machinery fixed and your labor changing? Let's say for an example, we took the example of Sahil yesterday, right? We'll take the same example. Let's say Sahil, who was setting up a factory for producing what? For producing branded shirts. Now he has taken into account all the problems and he has decided that he has a plan in front of him. He knows how many units that he has to produce and everything. So he has decided to purchase one machinery. Let's say he has decided to purchase one machinery. Okay? This machinery can actually employ about, let's say, 8 persons. Okay? So 8 persons can work on this machinery and produce about, let's say, 1000 units. Okay? So there's one machinery and this machinery can occupy about 8 employees. 8 employees, if they work on that, they can produce a total of 1000 units. Okay? In, let's say, in a month. Alright, so this is your relationship between input and output. What are your inputs? Input is your 8 persons working on that. 8 laborer is an input. One machinery is an input. Your time, your 1 month, that time is also an input. Correct? What is the output? Output is 1000 units. Okay? Now, let's say he has employed only one worker. So, there was one machinery. This is a fixed factor. This he got to know. This he knows that if he employs 8 persons, he will get 1000 units. But let's say he has employed only one person. So with the help of that one person, will you be able to produce 1000 units? No, you need 8 persons to produce that 1000 units. Correct? So let's say this one person is able to produce 100 units. Okay? So you have employed one person and he's able to produce how many? 100 units. Then what would you do? You would increase the number of laborer. Right now what is happening? Right now is your machinery fully utilized? No, it is underutilized. Your full utilization of machinery, when will it happen? जब आप वो machinery से 1000 units produce कर पाओगे, that is when you are fully utilizing that machinery. Right now, are you fully utilizing that machinery? No, full utilization is not happening. Correct? It is being underutilized. Only 100 units are being produced. So you saw this underutilization and you thought, let's employ one more person. Okay? So you employed one more person. So two persons together, let's say we're producing about 210 units. Okay? So like this, what happened? You have employed one more person, and let's say he is with all the 3 persons, you are able to produce 320 units. So like this it will happen. Then with 8 persons, when they are involved, you will be producing 1000 units. Correct? When you reach 8 persons, that is when you will be producing 1000 units. So what is happening? My capital is fixed. My machinery is fixed. I cannot change that machinery. And it is being underutilized in the start. But when I increase the variable factor, when I increase the number of laborers, what is happening? That machinery is being utilized now. The machinery which was underutilized earlier, it is being utilized now. So because of this extra utilization, the additional output is a result. The additional output is resulting from this additional utilization that I can make from that machinery. That machinery which was underutilized earlier, now with additional labor, I can produce more. That is the reason of increasing returns. That this machinery which is there, that was being underutilized earlier. Now when I increase the laborer, it is being fully utilized. It is being efficiently utilized. Right? I am increasing its efficiency by employing more laborers. Okay? But one doubt might be coming into your mind, that why this underutilization? Why was the machinery kept underutilized? Can you answer this? Why was the machinery kept underutilized earlier? Why was the machinery kept underutilized earlier? It was kept underutilized because of indivisibility. Because of indivisibility. What is indivisibility? एक मशीनरी अगर मेरे को चाहिए एंड वो मशीनरी 8 persons, 8 लोग को एम्प्लॉय करूंगा तो 1000 यूनिट्स प्रोड्यूस कर रही है. करेक्ट? नाउ I need, let's say, only 100 units. At first, how much did I need? What in my example? Only 100 units. So, can I break down that machinery and bring? अरे नहीं, वो एक मशीनरी तो 1000 यूनिट्स प्रोड्यूस कर रही है, मेरे को सिर्फ 100 यूनिट्स ही प्रोड्यूस करना है. आई वांट टू प्रोड्यूस ओनली 100 यूनिट्स एंड दैट मशीन इज गिविंग 1000 यूनिट्स. सो कैन आई ब्रिंग 1/10 of that machinery and start producing? No, I will have to purchase that entire machinery. Even if I'm producing 100, even if I'm producing 10 units, even if I'm producing 500 units. Correct? 10 units भी produce करने, I will have to purchase that entire machinery. Right? Which has the capacity of producing 1000 units, but I want only 10 units. I need to produce 10 units. Can I take only a part of that machinery? Is that machinery divisible? Can I divide that machinery and take only part of it, purchase the part of it? No, you will have to purchase the entire machinery. And because of that, this underutilization is happening. Right? If it was divisible, Divisible मतलब क्या? Divisible matlab that machinery can be broken down into parts and I can take one part and start producing. Can I do that? No, machineries are indivisible. That machinery which we took an example is has the capacity of producing 1,000 units. If I want to produce 100 units also, I will have to purchase the entire machinery. I cannot produce just the part of it. Now, since I'm purchasing the entire machinery, obviously it will be underutilized in the start, right? So that is the reason of underutilization, that the capital, the machinery that you're purchasing, that is indivisible. That is not divisible. You cannot divide that, right? You cannot break it into parts and purchase just a part of it. So because of that indivisibility, what is happening? The underutilization is happening. Okay. So what is this? This is nothing but, you can write down there also. This is capacity of machine. The capacity of the machine. All these are what? These are underutilization. Your machinery is not being utilized properly. This is full utilization. When you're that is full utilization. When 8 persons are employed, that is full utilization. Right? So capacity जितना है 1,000 यूनिट्स प्रोड्यूस करने का कैपेसिटी है. अगर आप 1,000 यूनिट्स प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हो, then it will be full utilization of that money. But if you are producing less than that, then it is underutilization of that machine. All right. So write down. You can just copy this, pause and copy here, copy this like an example, and then explain that. We'll explain this in brief words. So write down. In the beginning, comma, the fixed factors in brackets, land, machinery. In the beginning, the fixed factors are available in abundance, abundance. So it is available in abundance. मतलब क्या? मतलब it is available in a lot of quantities. I am not utilizing it properly. It's available in more than what I'm trying to produce. So it is available in abundance. When compared to what? When compared to variable factor. When compared to variable factor. Full stop. Therefore, fixed factors will not be fully utilized. Full stop. Therefore, fixed factors will not be fully utilized, correct? Fixed factors are available in abundance, but variable factors are limited with you. So fixed factors are not being fully utilized. ये example में you can take 5 machineries also. That Sahil purchased 5 machinery और सिर्फ 2 laborers है. When compared to 5 machineries that you have purchased, why did you purchase 5? Because you are expecting that you will grow your production so much. But starting mein, let's say you employed only 6 laborers, 5 machinery and 6 laborers. When compared to the laborers, fixed factors are in abundance. That means you are not using it properly. Correct? You are not fully utilizing it. Next line. When you increase the variable factor, the fixed factor will now be more effectively used. The fixed factor will now be more effectively used, correct? When you increase the laborers. and it will be and it will sorry and it will get to full utilization, and it will get to full utilization, that is 100%, that is 100% utilization, that is 100% utilization. Correct. So because of this reason, what is happening? Because of this reason, increasing returns are happening. That when you, in the starting, when you try to increase the number of laborers, what is happening? Marginal product increase हो रहा है, total product increase हो रहा है at an increasing rate, average product increase हो रहा है. What is the reason behind that? The reason is this, that the fixed factors that you have purchased, that you are underutilizing in the start, but when you start utilizing it more, automatically it will start giving you more output. It will be more effectively or more efficiently used. So here, when you said that when you increase the variable factor, the fixed factor will now be more effectively and efficiently also, you can write. So just include there and efficiently, right? Effectively and more efficiently it will be used. Correct. Now pose the same question that you posed earlier. Why fixed factors why fixed factors were not fully utilized in the start? Why fixed factors were not fully utilized in the start? What is the reason? They were not fully utilized because when you are purchasing them, and you cannot purchase them in parts because they are indivisible. If they were divisible, then you could have purchased only the part of it, but they are indivisible, right? Because of that, you purchase something, but you are not fully utilizing it, right? So write down. Because, write answer dash, because most fixed factors because most fixed factors are indivisible brackets mein, that is cannot be divided cannot be divided into smaller units. Cannot be divided into smaller units. You will have to purchase the entire machinery. Full stop. Due to technological requirements, a minimum amount of fixed factor must be employed whatever be the output, whatever be the level of output, So even if you're producing 100 units, what do you have to do? You have to purchase that machinery which has capacity of 1000 units. Correct? That is the meaning of that. So this was the first reason. Okay? So here you can also write, इधर जहाँ पे भी जगह है first point के बाजू, right? This is the first reason. Alright? There's another small reason, which is your second reason. So write down. Second reason for increasing returns is division of work and specialization. Correct? when we talked about specialization yesterday, when we talked about division of work, what did we say? We said that it is nothing but dividing your work into different departments, into different specialized departments. So if somebody is good with marketing, he will be put under marketing. If somebody is good with sales, he will be put under sales. If somebody is good with production, that person will be put in production department. So that is possible when you have those number of laborers. If you don't have an increasing number of employees, how will you divide? So when increasing number of laborers are being employed, what can you do? You can divide them and you can bring about specialization in your factory. Correct? You can divide your laborers into different departments when you have so much labor. So when labor is increasing because of this specialization, because you're putting the person where you know that that person will be good, right? Can you put engineer in CA's work? Can you put CA in an engineer's work? No, right? This division of work is important. You cannot put anybody anywhere. So when this division of work will be possible and specialization will be possible, when the laborers are increasing, when you have enough labor to divide work among each one, right? So second reason, write down. With the introduction of more labor, with the introduction of more labor, comma, division of labor and specialization, division of labor and specialization becomes possible. Specialization becomes possible, right? So these are the two reasons of your increasing returns. First one is that your fixed factor, which was earlier underutilized, is now being effectively utilized, is now being more efficiently utilized. Correct? Second reason is what? Second reason is that when you're increasing the number of laborers, what is happening? You are able to divide them and bring about specialization in your production or specialization in your work. Correct? So division of work and specialization will be introduced. Okay. Now come to your second stage, stage 2, which is stage of, first write down this. If you have not written down, just pause here and write down. All right. All right. So come to your second stage. So write down stage 2. Sorry, where did this go? Stage 2. Underline stage 2, put it in a box if you want, and then write stage 2. What is this stage? This is stage of diminishing returns. So we finished stage 1. We saw the reasons and explanation also of the stage 1, which was stage of increasing returns. Remember the reason and explanation because that's important, and also remember as to what is happening to TP, AP and MP curves in that stage. And when is that stage ending? Stage 1 ended at what point? When AP was at maximum, when MP and AP crossed each other, when AP and MP were equal, that is when stage 1 ended. Now let's see stage 2 mein kya ho raha hai. See stage 2. In stage 2, what is happening? TP is increasing at a decreasing rate. MP is reducing, but it is still positive. It is declining. It is, falling, but it is still positive. It is decreasing, but still positive. AP has started to decrease, but that will obviously be positive. That will not be. Which is greater between MP and AP? AP will be greater than MP. So if you see the graph also, it says the same thing, that in stage 2 TP is increasing at a decreasing rate. Why? Because MP is decreasing, AP is decreasing, MP is also decreasing, and that is why it is called stage of what? Stage of diminishing returns, right? Both AP and MP are diminishing or decreasing. In stage 1 AP was rising, MP was also rising. After some point, it started to decrease. But in stage 2, MP is also falling, AP is also falling, TP is increasing but at a decreasing rate. Okay? So write down stage 2, stage of diminishing returns. In stage 2, comma, TP, which is your total product, continues to increase at a decreasing rate, until it reaches the maximum, until it reaches its maximum point, comma, where stage 2 ends. Right? Stage 2 कब end हो रहा है? Stage 2 is ending when MP is 0. See the graph? If MP जब 0 है, when MP is 0, stage 2 is ending. MP is 0 मतलब TP is maximum. So when TP is maximum, that is the point where stage 2 is ending. Next point. Both MP and AP are diminishing. But are positive. Right? They're diminishing, but they're still positive in stage 2. You can underline both AP and MP are diminishing and write down. That is why stage is called diminishing returns. This is the reason why this stage is called diminishing returns. Next line. This stage ends when MP is equal to 0. When MP touches your x-axis, when MP is 0, that is when this stage ends. Okay. Also write down, this is the most important stage. This is the most important stage. Why? Because firms will produce in this stage only. Now what is the reason behind this? We'll see it afterwards. But right now you understand that this is the most important stage. इतना अभी समझ लो बस. What is the reason? Why do they choose the stage? We'll deal with that later. So what is stage 2? This is the stage of diminishing returns, where AP and MP both are diminishing. And that is why this is called diminishing returns. TP is increasing but at a diminishing rate. When does this stage end? This stage ends when MP is equal to 0 or when TP is at maximum. Correct? Next heading, explanations or reasons. Explanation or reasons for diminishing returns. Explanation or reasons for diminishing returns, bracket में stage 2. Stage 2. Alright. So what is happening now? I am increasing my units of labor, but my marginal product is decreasing. An additional unit of labor is not giving me an additional, an increasing additional output. The additional output which the additional input of labor is giving, that is decreasing. Why is that happening? Why is diminishing returns happening? Why is marginal product reducing like that? Why is an additional unit of labor giving me reduced additional output? That is because your machinery, your capital, your fixed factor which was there, that has been fully utilized in earlier stage only. It has been fully utilized. After that, if you keep on increasing the labor, after full utilization also, if you're increasing the labor, that means machinery is already fully utilized. If you increase more, the additional labor will not give you more output, right? So in the above example, where we took 8 persons, that one machinery could employ how many? 8 persons. 8 persons में 1000 units दे रहा था वो machinery. That is the capacity of the machinery, that is full utilization. Now if you employ beyond that, if you employ an additional person, he give additional units of output? No, he will give reduced units of output. Why? Because already the machinery is fully utilized. ठीक है? So write down the reason. Once efficient utilization of fixed factor is reached, comma, any further increase in variable factor, will do what? Makes the fixed factor inadequate. Correct? उतनी उसकी कैपेसिटी नहीं है. 8% की कैपेसिटी है, but you are employing 9%, so you're making that fixed factor inadequate. Makes the fixed factor inadequate when compared to variable factors. Thus MP and AP fall. So because of this, because your fixed factor has been efficiently utilized, 8% चाहिए थे, 8% were employed. Now with 9th person, what will happen? The machinery will be inadequate. He cannot take in this 9%, but still you will be employing this 9%. So the marginal product which this 9th person will give you will not be much. It will obviously start falling. So more you employ, more it will fall. Correct? So your marginal product is falling. If marginal product is falling, obviously our average product will also fall. ठीक है? MP and AP fall. Now why is this happening? This is also again related to indivisibility, right? One machinery required 8 persons, but one more person, let's say 2 more persons were added. So for these 2 more persons, can you buy one, 1/4 machinery? Right? This, if 8 persons are, one machinery is requiring 8 persons, 2 persons will require how much? Only 1/4 of machinery, which is 2 into 1 by 8. Correct? 2 ones are 2 fours are. So this 1/4 of machinery, can you purchase? Obviously no, right? You cannot purchase 1/4 of machinery. The machinery cannot is indivisible. We already saw. So the one of the reason or one of the base for this is also indivisibility. The additional persons that you're employing, because of those additional persons, your present fixed factor is inadequate. And why can't you purchase additional machinery? Because additional machinery, if you purchase, then your fixed factor you're saying is not fixed. Then you are actually not going as per the assumptions of this law. This law is based on the assumption that only one factor is changing and the other factors are fixed, right? So write down. Write down. This phenomenon only rests upon indivisibility. Rests upon indivisibility, that you are not able to divide your fixed factors into smaller parts. Rests upon indivisibility. All right. And another reason for this, and another reason for diminishing return is imperfect substitutability, right, of factors. What is imperfect substitutability? That means labor and machinery, are they perfect substitutes to each other? Are labor and machinery perfect substitutes to each other? Obviously no, they are imperfect substitutes. So more and more of labor without increasing your machinery, will it do good to you? No. Why? Because labor cannot do the job of machine, right? You will have to employ machinery. They are not perfect substitutes. So with only machinery being fixed to one machinery, you have only employed one machinery. Can you keep on adding labor? Can you add about 50 labor only with one machinery? No. And why can't you do that? Because labor and machinery are not perfect substitutes. You will need machinery. So you cannot substitute कि ठीक है मशीनरी नहीं खरीद रहा मैं एक्स्ट्रा लेबर खरीद लेता हूं. Can I do that? No. Why can't I do that? Because they are not perfect substitutes. If they were perfect substitutes, if machinery and labor were perfect substitutes, तब क्या कर सकता था? तब ठीक है ना, मशीनरी नहीं चाहिए, फिर I'll employ more labor, I'll keep on employing more labor only, I'll not purchase machinery. Why? Because machinery and labor are perfect substitutes. But are they? No. Machinery and labor are imperfect substitutes. So if they are imperfect substitutes, and if I'm keeping machinery as fixed, so employing more labor cannot do the job of machinery. I will need additional machinery, right? So one of the reasons is also imperfect substitutes, that factors, all the other factors are imperfect substitutes to each other. They cannot substitute each other perfectly. All right, so write down another reason for diminishing returns. Another reason for diminishing returns is that the factors are imperfect, substitutes. They are imperfect substitutes. They are imperfect substitutes of each other, right? That means they cannot replace each other. Imperfect substitutes for each other. So even if you increase the number of laborers, you will definitely have to employ more machinery. full stop, without which the total output, without which the marginal, not total, without which the marginal output or marginal product will decline, even if you employ more and more labor. Here in brackets you can write, that is, labor cannot do the work of machines. Labor cannot do the work of machines. That is, labor cannot do the work of machines. All right. Okay. So these are the two reasons of, again, what law, the stage of diminishing returns. Your law is also named on this stage. What is your law called? Law is called law of diminishing returns. You had stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Stage 1 was increasing returns. Did the law say law of increasing returns? No. Law is based on this stage only. Law itself is called what? Law of diminishing returns, right? Or law of, it is also called law of variable proportion, law of returns to factors. All right. Come to stage 3. Stage 3 is your stage of negative returns. Stage of negative returns. What is stage of negative returns now? In this stage, what is happening? MP has turned negative, right? MP, marginal product itself, has turned negative, and because MP is negative, what will happen to total product? Total product will start to decrease, right? So write down TP, sorry, first write about MP. MP declines and is negative, TP starts to decline, right? TP starts to decline. MP तो anyways is declining. MP declines but is positive, right? TP and AP will obviously always be positive. Only MP can turn negative. Now what is happening in this stage? You see from a practical perspective, you are employing an additional labor. Okay? Go back to your table. You have employed an additional labor. You have employed 11th laborer now. Okay? 10 laborers were giving you 750 units of output. 10 laborers put together were giving you how much? 750 units of output. You employed one more laborer. You employed 11th laborer. What is it doing? It is reducing your total production. 10 लेबर के साथ 750 यूनिट्स प्रोड्यूस कर पा रहे थे. 11th laborer is joining. You are producing 740. You have reduced the number of total production that you can produce with an additional unit of labor. So obviously stage 3 is very scary. You are paying for that laborer. You will have to pay wages to him. You have employed an additional laborer, but what is happening to total product? Total product only decreased, right? Now why will this happen? In what scenario will this happen? This will happen in the scenario where you have employed so many laborers that you are not able to manage them, right? You're not able to manage these laborers only. There's so much politics going on around them. There's so much time waste which they're doing. They're gossiping among each other. They're not properly doing your work, and also your management is not able to manage so many people. they were able to manage only about 8 to 9 people, but now you have also employed one more laborer, which they cannot manage. Also, your machinery had a limited capacity. You have well exceeded that capacity. Beyond that, also, you keep on increasing your laborer. Then what will happen? Then your total product, instead of rising, will reduce. All right. So write down. So stage 3, we were then explanation or reasons. Explanation or reasons for negative returns. For negative returns. Underline and write down. First arrow. Fixed factor is kept constant in brackets, machinery comma land, right? They are kept constant. And variable factor in our example, what? Labor, in brackets labor, and variable factor is continuously increased. So what will happen in the next line? Variable factor becomes too excessive, right? You're not able to handle them. They're too much in excess, too excessive when compared to fixed factor, and they are harming each other, and they are harming each other's productivity, that is why your total product itself is decreasing, right? What can be another example? Let's say my land is fixed and the area of land is this much. Okay? My land is fixed and the area of land is this much. So this is land. And what am I doing? Let's say I'm employing laborers to farm in this field. Okay? So I'm employing farmers and I'm telling them, you farm in this field. So let's say I've employed first laborer. First laborer is able to farm in this much area. Okay? Can he cover the entire land? No, the land is huge. The first laborer is able to cover that area. I employed another laborer. The another laborer along with the first labor was able to cover this much land. Okay? Then again third, fourth, ऐसे करते करते I've employed, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 6 laborers. Okay? So this was by 1, this was by 2 laborers, 3 laborers, 4, 5. ऐसे करते करते I've employed 6 laborers. Alright, now the whole farm field is being plowed by all the 6 laborers. Now if I employ one more laborer, what will happen? Will he be able to add to the total production? Will he increase the production? No, there's no place only for him. If there's no place for him and I'm still employing him, what will happen? Obviously, he will affect other people's productivity, right? These 6 people, if he's not, this one laborer, he is not having work now. All the 6 were already working and this 6 people are employed in that land already. Now this additional laborer which is coming in, if he is being also employed in this land, then what will he do? He will have no work. He will go disturb others. He will go affect others' productivity. Correct? That is why negative return will happen. You have employed so much labor that it is an excess of the fixed factor that you have. The fixed factor, which is land here, can occupy only 6 laborers. But now what did you do? You have employed one more laborer. 6 laborer की जरूरत थी और एक laborer आपने employ कर दिया. So obviously he does not have work. What will he do? Can he contribute to production? No. Instead of contributing to production, he will very well, what will he do? He will disturb others, he will disturb others people's productivity. Your total production will go down rather than increasing. Correct? Okay, so this was your three stages and this was your law of variable proportion, which is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, law of variable proportion or law of diminishing returns. I hope you have understood the entire law. Let's see in another thing. Your next side heading is stage of operation. So you have seen three stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. What will be the stage in which an entrepreneur will operate? So dash, you can also write dash. Which stage will a rational producer operate in? Will he operate in stage 1? Will he operate in stage 2? Or will he operate in stage 3? Just think for a moment. Think for a moment and let me know. Let you only decide which stage will he be in. Will he be in stage 1? Will he be in stage 2? Or will he be in stage 3? In which stage will he produce? Alright. Will he produce in stage 3? Will the producer produce in stage 3? I hope this answer is very clear to you. Will he produce in stage 3? No, he will not produce in stage 3. If an additional unit of laborer is reducing my production, why will I employ him? I will remove him, right? एक एडिशनल लेबर अगर मैं एम्प्लॉय भी कर दिया और स्टेज 3 तक पहुंच भी गया और प्रोडक्शन reduce हो रहा है इंस्टेड ऑफ इंक्रीजिंग, what will I do? I will not keep him in employment. I will remove him. I will obviously go on to stage 2. Correct? So stage 3 is gone. Stage 3 is a strict no. What about stage 1? Will he be in stage 1 or will he be stage 2? So in stage 1, what is happening? In stage 1, my fixed factors are not fully utilized, right? I'm still trying to fully utilize them. So will I stop there? No, I will not stop there. I will try to fully utilize them. So I will not stop at stage 2. I will not stop at stage 1 because I'm not still fully utilizing the factors. So what will be the stage of operation, or what will be the optimum stage? The optimum stage in which I will operate will be stage 2. Alright, it will not be stage 3 because anyways the total product is negative there. It will not be stage 1 also. Why? Because in stage 1 I'm still not fully utilizing the machinery or fully utilizing the factor. It's not being fully utilized, it's still being underutilized. In stage 2 is when the machinery is being fully utilized. Okay? So I will operate in stage 2. So write down. A rational producer will never produce in stage 3 where MP is negative, and total production is reducing. Right? With additional unit of labor, total product is reducing. Extra labor employ करने के बाद भी production reduce हो रहा है. And total production is reducing. Full stop. If he is in stage 3, comma, he will reduce the variable factor, right? He will reduce the variable factor to increase the output. That is, he will get into stage 2. Right? If he is reducing variable factor, what is happening? He is going to stage 2. If he is reducing variable factor, in the graph, where will he go? He will go towards the left. So if he is reducing variable factors, he will go to stage 2. Right? Next point. he will not produce in stage 1. He will not produce in stage 1 as he will still be not making, as he will be still not making full use or utilization of fixed factor all right. Next line. Now these two stages have a name in economics. What is that name? They are being called as economic absurdity or economic nonsense. Okay, they're being called nonsense. They're called economic nonsense. That means they don't make sense. All right, so write down these two stages. These two stages are called economic nonsense or economic absurdity. Absurd. What is absurd? Something which is not logical is absurd. You're not able to understand it. If you're not understanding something, it's absurd, right? So economic absurdity. Okay, next line. I hope you've copied this. If you've not copied till now, just pause here and you can copy it. Then move. Next, a rational producer will produce in which stage? Will produce in stage 2. In stage 2. Full stop. In this stage, AP and MP are falling. Full stop. And in stage 2, at what exact point will he produce? How many exact number of labors will he be there in stage 2? That will depend upon what? That will depend upon the price of labor, right? What is the price of labor? How much cost is he incurring? And what is his budget? Usko kitna cost spend karna hai labor pe? That will depend on that. So you can write that also. Next line. At exactly which point in stage 2 will the producer be will depend upon what? Will depend on the cost of labor or variable factor. The cost of variable factor, in brackets you can write labor. Depends on the cost of variable factor, in brackets you can write labor. Okay, so this will be your stage in which you will produce. This will be a stage in which rational producer will produce. Your stage 2. And why is he not producing stage 1? Because in stage 1 he is not still fully utilizing the fixed factor. He will want more. जैसे उसमें देखा था ना marginal utility and total utility में, that ठीक है, you're getting next marginal utility lower, but you're still consuming. Why? Because you've not reached a stage where your total utility is maximum. Correct? So you will not stop at stage 1, since your total product is still rising. You can write that point also. In fact, in the last second point, when you wrote a rational producer will produce in stage 2, in this stage AP and MP are falling, but TP is rising. ठीक है? but TP is rising. Now let's finish the last part of this law, which is assumptions. Assumptions of law of variable proportion. Variable proportions. What are the assumptions? So why do I do assumptions in the last after explaining you the law? Should I do before the law? If I don't explain you the entire law, assumptions will not make sense. Now if I tell you the assumptions, you will be able to relate them. Correct? So that is why I explain you the law first and then I come to assumptions, because then you will be able to relate these assumptions to the law. Oh, okay, this is being assumed. Why? Because of this reason, like that. So first assumption is, which was the assumption in production function also, that the technology will remain constant. Correct? The technology will not change. The technology cannot be a variable factor. Technology will definitely remain constant. Second, some factors are fixed. Correct? All factors cannot be variable. If all factors are variable, will it be law of diminishing returns? No, it will be law of returns to scale. So some factors are definitely fixed. So some factors are fixed. In full stop. Next point. This law will not be applicable. This law will not be applicable if all factors are variable. If all factors are variable. Correct? So some factors are fixed. Third assumption. We consider only quantities. We consider what? We consider only quantities of goods. When we said total product, marginal product, average product, laborers, did we see cost of labor? Did we see how much is this total product giving me? How much revenue is it producing? No, I have not compared revenues, I have not compared costs, I have not involved monetary terms. What am I seeing? I am only seeing quantities. I am only seeing quantity of excuse me. I'm only seeing quantities of production. I'm only seeing quantities of labor. Am I involving monetary terms? No, I'm only seeing quantities. So write down, we consider only quantities of inputs and outputs. And ignore their monetary values. We are not concerned about what is the price of the good, what is the cost of the labor. No, we are only seeing the quantities. So we consider only quantities of inputs and outputs and ignore their monetary values. Okay? So these are the assumptions of law of variable proportion. So we finished law of variable proportion. I want you guys to revise the entire law again after this class. So let's say you have ended the class at to 11 o'clock. After the today's class, after maths class, after accounts class, please again revise this class. Not the class, but the notes that you've written or the things that you've studied in the class, so that law of variable proportion, you're perfect with it, because it's an important law. Law of variable proportion is obviously very important. It's very practical also. It's a very practical law. All right, so we'll end the class here. We'll start with a new law tomorrow, which is law of returns to scale. So till then, bye, see you. I hope everybody keeps their health fine. Everybody's maintaining their health fine. All right, chalo, see you.